大家好，我叫福yuan Fang. Hello everyone, I am Emily, and today we're going to go over lesson 2.2 in the Integrated Chinese Volume 1 textbook. So if you have your textbook, you can follow along in there. If not, that is just fine as well. So we're going to start. We're going to start with last week's practice questions. We're going over answers. So I asked you guys three questions, three very very short questions, and so my first question was with the grammar 有 to have. So 你有哥哥吗? Do you have an older brother? 你有哥哥吗? And so I wanted you to respond with this with a 有. I have an older brother. So the way you would answer this would be 我有哥哥. I have an older brother. 我有哥哥. And so question 2. 你有法文老师吗? Do you have a French teacher? And so I wanted you to, just for this question, to answer it with negative. 没有. So 没有 is to not have, right? So that's how I wanted you to change that, right? So you would respond with, this is not working. Okay. 我没有法文老师. I don't have a French teacher. 我没有. I don't have. 法文老师. I don't have a French teacher. And then the reasons why we have these two nice, very fancy photos is 他是谁? The question 3 is 他是谁? Who is he or who is she? And hopefully you guys both know who these people are. The first one is 他是 Taylor Swift. She is Taylor Swift. And the next one, 他是 Jackie Chan. He is Jackie Chan. So that is a review over last week's content with our practice questions and answers. And so this week we have so much. I'm just kidding. We only have 3 things, right? But we have two very difficult topics, actually. The adverb do and the usage of are and liang. These are very difficult topics. And so when we're going over do, there's so many different ways you can use do, but it still follows that subject do verb phrase. And so that verb phrase could be that verb and an object, right? That's a verb phrase, a verb object. So with my first point, it follows just that basic, simple structure of subject, do, verb phrase. So Wang Peng 和李友都是学生. So Wang Peng 和李友都是学生. So Wang Peng and Liu are both students. Do means both. So you can use this when you're talking about two different things having the same thing. Or so Wang Peng and Liu are both students. So that is a good example of saying the both of something. Point 2 is a little bit harder. This is 都不是. 都不是 means none. Nothing. Zero, zip, nothing. Right? So Wang Peng 和 Leo 都不是老师. Wang Peng and Leo are both not teachers. There's no way that they are teachers because they're students, right? So none, nothing, no. Wang Peng 和 Leo 都不是, both not. 老师 is both not teachers. And so it's still following that verb phrase because 是 is a verb and 老师 is an object noun. And so into point 3. Point 3, this is very different. Wang Peng 和 Leo 不是都是老师. That's a lot of shurs right there, right? So this one right here, this sure is optional. You could just say 不都是. And so they are both not teachers. It has somewhat of the same meaning, but one could be, one could not be. So that's the difference between 都不是. 都不是 is none, while 不都是 could be like one could be and one could not be. And then the fourth point, 王鹏和 Leo 都有姐姐. Wang Peng and Leo both have a sister, an older sister. So you can use that with 有 because that's just a different verb, right? And then this fifth point, Wang Peng 和 Leo 都没有哥哥. This 有 and 没有 is just a small review from last week's content, right? When I introduced 有 and 没有. So Wang Peng 和 Leo, Wang Peng and Leo both don't have an older brother. And then this last point. This is also very closely related to point number 3, 不都是. And so Wang Peng 和 Leo 不都有哥哥. And so 有 just different verb. Wang Peng and Leo don't both have an older brother. So one can have an older brother while the other does, vice versa. But they both don't. Grammar 2. Usage of R and liang. These are two different usages, same meaning two. The number two, like two. Those. So liang has a sentence structure. Liang plus measure word plus noun. And so 2个小时 2 hours. 2个星期 2 weeks. Or you could do this with your family. 我有2个妹妹. I have 2 younger sisters. It's still following that liang plus measure word plus noun. So what makes liang different from R? R is usually when you use with counting or listing. So when you're listing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or on the second day. On our house, this one is second day, this 1.2s. And then all by our sure, 220. You're counting, you're saying a number. Or 12块, 12 kwais. This is like money. So counting versus like associated with an item. The liang is more associated with an item or a thing. Always has that measure word with it, if that's how you want to differentiate it. R is counting. So if I want to say my birthday, I would use 20, 20. I would not say liang shi. It's 20 because you're counting. Okay. Grammar 3. The topic of work, 工作. So 工作 is just work. And there's a specific structure that you ask someone if they have a job, and there's a specific way of answering it. So subject 做 to do 什么工作. 什么 is what, 工作 is work. So it's saying subject you to do what work. It's basically what do you do for work? Is the English way of saying it. So the first bullet point here is using that sentence structure to ask someone their job. 你爸爸做什么工作? Your father does what? Your father's job is what? What does your father do for work? Oh, there's different ways. Just 你爸爸做什么工作? And then to respond to that question, you do not use the same verb. You use sure, is, right? Going back to that lesson 1 content. My father is this. 我爸爸是律师. This is lawyer. Or question 2, 你姐姐做什么工作? Same question, right? Oh, 我姐姐是学生. Because some people just are students for work, right? Like I'm a student for work. Like that's my job, is to be a student. So my sister, your sister does what for work? My sister is a student. That's what she does for work. Then a friend could ask, oh, 你做什么工作? 我是老师. Because you don't have to, it's asking about you. So you just say 我是 this. It's like it's the same response if you were to say you were American or you were Chinese or if you were English or French. 我是, and then whatever you are, right? Very, very simple. But you're responding with a job instead. So there's so many job titles that you can cover in the Chinese language, just like that in English or French or anything. So we're going to cover some of these. 商人 right here is a business person, a merchant. So a 商人 could be someone who owns a flower shop, or person who works at 7-Eleven. 军人 means like military. 人 is person. So a soldier or military officer. So you can say, oh, 我是军人, I'm a military officer. 教授 I said that wrong. 教授 is professor. So all your teachers are 教授 or professors. 经理 all managers. Every place has a manager, right? Like at a restaurant or at a business compliance company. I don't know. They all have managers. So you could say, 我爸爸是经理. My father's a manager. Another job is just a simple worker. My dad is just a worker. That could be, there's people that you might see who are, if you don't really know someone's job title, and that's like more manual labor, like I guess like building buildings, like that you usually call them workers. So you'd say, oh, you could say 我哥哥是工人. My brother is a worker. This engineer is a little bit harder, they're a little more advanced. 工程师. You could say, well, like I have a friend who is planning to become an engineer. Oh, 我朋友 my friend 是 my friend is 工程师 my friend is an engineer. 我朋友是工程师. You can do these with all of these. Here's if you're retired, 退休了. So, like 你爷爷 from last week's when we were going over family. 你爷爷做什么工作? 我爷爷退休了. You could just say my grandfather retired. Or 我爷爷没有工作. My grandfather does not have a job. Or someone could ask, oh, 你爸爸做什么工作? 我爸爸是医生. My father is a doctor. These are all different kinds of professions. Like 护士 is a nurse, or 农民 is a farmer. 秘书 a secretary. 会计 an accountant. Oh, I know there's so many accountants right now. Like it's a very, very, very popular major right now. 律师 is lawyer. Going back to, see right here. 我爸爸是律师. All of these professions you can answer with this basic subject 是 type of work response. So that is everything I have for today. We're going to go over the practice questions and let's see what we have first. Question 1. Leo 有姐姐. Gao and Zhong 也有姐姐. I want you to answer with do. In the positive term, of course. Just that simple subject do verb phrase. Question 2. Buying ayo. How many 个妹妹? How many sisters does Buying I have? These are younger sisters, for clarification. And then 你的妈妈爸爸做什么工作? Your mom or your dad does what for work? And I want you to answer with that sentence structure of sure that we just reviewed. These are 3 questions I want you to think in your head for next week's video, and we will review those. That is all I have for today. 谢谢你们，下次见。